Oh, hey, sup, it's Ralph Bob.
How's it going, guys? I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are excited for Shadowlands, and I wanted to talk about an aspect of Shadowlands that might be a little bit underlooked, the new leveling zone, Exile's Reach. Now, this is a new zone for Horde and Alliance. You get to start on this island called Exile's Reach as a level 1 character, and they do a pretty good job of bringing new players into the fold with a very linear story to get people started. Nothing too complicated or overly done, but I wanted to explain my thoughts on what I think about when I play this game, and maybe I'll do a video later about with my friend who hasn't really played WoW very much, what his thoughts when he comes into the game, because I've been playing this game for 15 years. So this is my thoughts on what they could change or what I would change when it comes to the design, just the mechanics, just the overall feel of the Exile's Reach. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 100 subscribers. That's pretty freaking awesome. Our goal would be 1,000. I would love to see 1,000, but let's hit 100 right now. That would be super, super cool. I do a lot of WoW content on YouTube and over on Twitch as well. So make sure to check us out over there as well. And let's get on.
Let's get it on.
My first initial thought of Exile's Reaches was the visual is awesome. There's a lot of cool things going on when you first crash land onto the island. There's a lot of cool things, a lot of cool visuals going on, and you can kind of explore. Now the problem that I have, like look at this, this fire is really, really cool. This is kind of like a new fire effect that I've never really seen in WoW, and I was really impressed with that visual. There's a lot of cool visual stuff going on, but when I first got to the island, my first instinct was to explore the island and explore the crashed ships and maybe try to swim out as far as I could to see what was going on. And unfortunately, there wasn't a lot to find. There wasn't a lot of things to reward exploration in that way right off the bat. And when I say right off the bat, I mean as soon as you wake up on the island. I took about 5 minutes to explore and there was nothing around, and what I would really, really appreciate and from a game design perspective, I suppose, would be introduce finding little treasures and bits and pieces of things around on the shipwreck cove, find treasures in the ships, armor on the beach. I think that would be a really cool start to putting your character together if you find that stuff, and it's obviously it's optional, but then it instills in the player like, hey, if I look around, there could be actual treasure and stuff around the area, and then you can just start laying little bits and pieces and little breadcrumbs around the island without having to mark them. Like this up here, it's the abandoned treasure is marked. It's like, okay, well, if you did that in the beginning where you start and you let me find treasure on my own, like look at this whole area. There's a big elite over there and everything. It's like, I want to go check this out. I just don't think there's enough reward for exploration right away. This experience is kind of linear overall. So that's something I would hope to see differently. Let's actually go over here and explore and see what happens. I might be impressed. I actually haven't been over this way. Look at this guy over here. Second, in my opinion, also I tried to swim out to that island over there and it disconnected me. It's like, okay, well, I guess we can't go out there. The second thing is, I think the enemies in this area have like no health. They have like no health. I just fought off like 7 quill boars right there. Like 7 quill boars. There was no issue at all. I didn't have to heal. I didn't have to do anything. It's very strange that you're just so strong that you just take these things out no problem back. And I want to refer to Classic here, and I know some people may just say, oh, just play Classic then. It's like, well, I want a new experience. This is really cool. I want to experience this, but I also want to be a little bit challenged. Just fighting stuff that is getting beat to a pulp, like that's boring to me. I wish they had a little bit more health and hit just a little bit harder, and that's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for anything intense, just a little bit more of a challenge and maybe a little bit more risk when it comes to exploring this place, taking in the enemy types. They have a bunch of different enemy types here as well, which I really appreciate. They have murlocs, quillboars, they got spiders, there's a few others, harpies I think as well. And that's the basic core World of Warcraft enemies, right? And I wish that they would kind of explore that a little bit more. So I'm coming down here trying to see what's going on. Look at all this stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff down here, and it just never feels like you get rewarded too much for exploring around, but this is kind of cool. I really like that they kind of brought back class quests. That's something that I really enjoy. I played on the shaman first. I leveled on the shaman and he had a little ghost wolf shaman quest. There's a little bit of side quests as well that I appreciated that you can kind of check out. I mean, obviously they're marked on the map because it's retail, but they kind of, I saw little hints and pieces of classic inspiration with class quests, as well as like you kind of go down the road and there's a sign that says danger and you can go kill a bear for extra loot. You don't have to do that, but it's there if you want to. And I appreciate that as a person who enjoys classic, but also getting a new experience is great. Those are some positives. I really like that they're teaching the players what to do and how to use their abilities. It's very smooth, very linear experience. I wish there was a bit more exploration, obviously. I mean, I'm doing some right now. It's kind of, who knows if there's any rewards out here for exploring, you know? Anyway, I think they're on the right track here. I really do enjoy this area. I hope Shadowlands in general brings back kind of stuff like this. So I actually haven't got to play the beta yet on Shadowlands, so I'm hoping like questing in Shadowlands is kind of similar to Exile's Reach in a way. Another thing I wanted to talk about, and this is kind of goes into a larger discussion on gear. The dungeon finder that they try to teach players how to use in the end is fine. But they give you blues for each boss. And this is something that is like more of a personal preference, in my opinion. But I don't think you should be handing out blue level gear at like level 10. And obviously it's more of a perception thing. And obviously there's the heirloom changes as well. People are still going to be wearing their heirlooms. I also personally believe that they should disable mounts in this area and they should disable heirlooms in this area completely. I know they're not going to disable heirlooms, but maybe they can disable mounts. I don't believe there should be any chauffeur mounts running around in this area. I don't feel like that's necessary. I don't think new players will be looking at those mounts and being like, wait, where did I get that? Where did I miss something? Do I not get a motorcycle mount right away? Like, what is that about? I just feel like they should just disable mounts completely on this island, because you can get off this island for a new player probably about 2 hours, maybe less. It took me, with just testing some stuff here and there, it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Getting from level 1 to 10 is nothing. It's a fun experience. It's a very smooth experience. I really enjoyed it overall. There's a few things that I wish they would dial back a little bit. This has been my thoughts on Exile's Reach. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to talk about on it. Just in conclusion, exploration. I wish the mobs were a little bit harder. The enemies were a little bit harder to kill, so you can actually get a feel for your abilities and which ones are going to come in handy. You can get a feel for healing. You can actually group up with people. Be like, hey, you want to help me out with this? And for the end of the video, I am gonna get thrown by Drakgar here and see what happens. Throw me back to my friends. Okay. Throw me far, baby. Let's go. Okay, you're taking a little bit. Okay. We're walking, and woo! Nice. Hope you guys have a good one. If you guys have any comments on Exile's Reach or any questions that I can answer in your comments about what's going on, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Keep it rock solid, baby. I'm out.